Hey, adrenaline junkies. Welcome to Mind Rush. Get ready to dive into heart-pounding chases, jaw-dropping action, and the most thrilling moments caught on camera. Let's get your heart racing.
Now you just had a wreck. Look out! Break glass, break glass, break glass. Get out the car! Get out! Get out! Tires are flat. Move!
On Friday, July 15th, 2022, in Byron, Georgia, police were given a lookout for an SUV driving recklessly on GA Highway 42. Witnesses said the vehicle was swerving into oncoming traffic and nearly causing head-on collisions. When it reached the intersection of Highway 42 and Highway 49, Good Samaritans blocked the SUV in until police arrived.
Yeah. She's not gonna make it far. Go.
Officers surrounded the SUV and tried speaking to the driver, later identified as 24-year-old Sierra Hibbert. She refused to respond, rolled the windows up, and sat in silence. Stop sticks were placed under her tires to prevent escape. Instead, Hibbert slammed the gas, first backing into a car, then lurching forward into an officer and a police car. Moments later, she rammed two bystanders and another patrol car before finally breaking free with a flat tire.
Didn't want to do that. Help over here. I got you.
Sir.
Ma'am. We got it.
I know I'm buckled, sir. I know I'm buckled, sir.
Yeah.
Sir. I didn't do anything. I didn't do it, sir.
You just tried to kill 10 people.
No, I didn't, sir.
Alex, switch
No. Sir, stop. Sir! I didn't do it. Stop. You have... No. Why have you done... Stop. Stop. I didn't...
The chase continued up Highway 49 as Hibbert hit yet another police car, backed into a third, and then plowed into the same patrol car twice, causing heavy damage. With her SUV shredded and the flat tire giving out, officers boxed her in and finally took her into custody. A child was inside her vehicle during the chaos but was thankfully unharmed. Charges: aggravated assault on a peace officer, aggravated assault on civilians, criminal damage to property, fleeing and attempting to elude, child endangerment. From refusing to roll down the window to ramming cops, cars, and bystanders, Hibbert turned a simple, reckless driving call into a demolition derby. The only thing she didn't hit was the brakes. For Byron PD, the wild ride ended with Hibbert in cuffs and her SUV nearly totaled. July 10th, 2021, in Georgia, troopers joined a pursuit already in progress out of Coweta County. A white sedan was flying down Interstate 85 southbound with its lights off, weaving through traffic at more than 140 miles per hour. The driver crossed the median, blew past spike strips, and even brake-checked patrol cars to block pit maneuver attempts.
Turn on passing 38, yours is head up. Range 756, what's your status?
We're still south now. We're going up on 34. I'm trying to get around it.
Battle.
Alright, I got you stand by. He's 1050. Never mind, we're driving back out of it. We're driving back out. We're still southbound. He tried to exit at 34. Alright, he's cut back up the embankment. We're going back up towards top of 34 now.
Near State Route 18, the suspect lost control, spun across the shoulder, then powered back onto the road, still refusing to stop. Multiple pit maneuvers were attempted, but each time the driver fought his way out. Then, in a desperate move, he rammed a state patrol car, sending it spinning toward the wood line before troopers regained control and rejoined the chase.
I'm making a U-turn, cut through the median. We're coming back towards the interstate,
Clear, you turn in the median, back to the interstate.
Alright, we're getting back on 85, back on 85. I got a deputy, somebody's behind me.
Y'all going northbound or southbound?
We're back southbound.
We're on southbound.
Alright, Lagrange, he just rear-ended me. I just 1050. He's still northbound, or southbound, excuse me. He rear-ended the car. I'm still in it though.
Clear on 1050, rear end, still in the bike.
Alright. I just touched him again. Alright, he's still in it.
Well, take time. Yeah, go for it.
Finally, troopers forced the car off the interstate, pushing it deep into the tree line where it struck a large tree and came to a stop. The driver bailed out of the back window, sprinting into the woods, but was quickly caught and cuffed. The passenger, who had outstanding warrants, was arrested on scene, while a 4-year-old child inside the car was taken to safety and later released to family, fleeing and attempting to elude aggravated assault on a law enforcement officer for ramming the patrol car, DUI reckless driving, child endangerment, driving on a suspended license. From 140 miles an hour with lights off to ramming patrol cars, this driver showed zero regard for anyone, including his own daughter riding in the back seat. For him, the night ended in the woods, in handcuffs, and facing a mountain of charges. On the morning of September 24, 2025, in Fairview Heights, Illinois, an officer pulled over a car on Old Collinsville Road. The reason? The license plate sticker had been expired for 5 years. Lights were flashing, the stop was routine, and the officer began walking up from the passenger side.
Yes. Fairview 187. My vehicle's just been hit. Start an ambulance.
Hey, what happened?
You tell me.
I need a new car.
Somebody ran into me, pushed my vehicle into the other vehicle. Start an ambulance. Need a supervisor. Here, come over here, buddy. Get out of the road. Here, have a seat real quick. Have a seat. You all right?
Yeah, I'm all right.
What happened, dude?
I don't know, man. I've been drinking.
You been drinking?
Yeah, I've been drinking.
Okay.
And I took some weed pills.
Some weed pills?
Yeah.
That's when a gray 2018 Camaro plowed into the back of the squad car with such force that it shoved it into the stopped vehicle, pinning the two together like a junkyard sandwich.
Just sit down, man. Just sit down.
All right.
Driver tells me he's been drinking and took some weed pills.
Here, let me get
No.
my phone.
Sit down, sit down.
Okay.
I don't want you to get hit, okay? Hey, you guys all right up in there? All right, just hang tight, okay?
Can I stand up? My head's getting like...
Just sit down, man. You just in a bad accident. I don't want you to get hurt, okay? You wandering around out in that traffic, somebody gonna hit you.
Somebody gonna hit me. I got insurance. It ain't gonna cover that though.
Well, I don't know, but that's not what we're concerned about right now. We're concerned about everybody's okay, all right?
All right. I did that on purpose, sir.
What, you hit me on purpose?
Yeah, I did.
Why is that?
I'm bored.
You bored?
I'm bored.
So you ran in the back of me on purpose?
Yep.
Why is that?
I hate cops, man.
Yeah? All right. We got an ambulance coming, okay?
All right.
The driver, 28-year-old Keajan Jennings, climbed out and casually admitted he'd been drinking, ate weed gummies, and then proudly declared he rammed the police cruiser on purpose because he doesn't like cops. Illinois State Police were called to handle the scene. No one else was injured, but Jennings was cuffed and taken straight to jail. Charges: criminal damage to government property, aggravated battery, times 3 counts. So let's get this straight. Expired tag stop, weed gummies, and a Camaro used as a personal battering ram. All because he doesn't like police. Honestly, if someone had just given Jennings a tight punch to the face back in high school, we might have avoided this entire crash. Instead, he's sitting in the St. Clair County Jail, wishing those gummies came with better decision-making skills. In the early morning hours of May 4th, 2025, on the Gandy Bridge in Florida, a state trooper clocked a Toyota Supra flying at 93 and a 55. When he tried to make a stop, the driver, later identified as 31-year-old Brandon Ramnerine, hit the gas and pushed the Supra eastbound across the bridge at more than 100 miles per hour. The traffic light, but speeds dangerously high. The pursuit pushed to the east end of the bridge. The Supra showed no signs of stopping, forcing the trooper to set up for a tactical intervention.
Go on the traffic side, you should go forward. Stop. Ouais, le chef de stage, c'est bon, là. We're getting you my first.
A pit maneuver spun the Supra onto the shoulder, where it smashed into a light pole and immediately burst into flames. Both Ramnarine and his 32-year-old passenger were pulled from the wreck with non-life-threatening injuries. Ramnarine was taken into custody at the hospital. Charges: fleeing and eluding at high speed, speeding 93 miles per hour in a 55 miles per hour zone, reckless driving. What started as a midnight joyride across the Gandhi Bridge ended in a fiery crash and felony charges. For Brandon Ramnarine, the Supra may have burned out, but the charges will stick. On the night of Wednesday, October 2025, in Scottsburg, Indiana, the Bullitt County Sheriff's Office in Kentucky alerted Indiana State Police about 2 armed robbery suspects in a stolen Ford F-150. Around 10:40 p.m., troopers were told the pair might be near a Wendy's. Minutes later, officers spotted the truck in the parking lot, and as soon as the suspects noticed law enforcement, they took off. The Ford blasted east on State Road 56 before turning north on State Road 3, flying through 3 Indiana counties at nearly 100 miles per hour. With multiple agencies in pursuit, the suspects weaved recklessly through the night, forcing troopers to end the chase before it ended in disaster.
Northbound approaching 600 set. Lights ahead. Stop 6 on 600 south. Stop 6 on 600 south. 50, 1050. Stop 6 on 600 south. Stop 6 on 600 south.
1050, 1050.
1050.
Near County Road 650 South, troopers set up a pit maneuver. The Ford spun off the roadway, crashing into a ditch. The driver, Daniel York, tried to sprint away but was quickly tackled by Austin police. The passenger, Everett Klein, surrendered without a fight. Both were treated by medics before being hauled off to jail. Charges: Daniel York, 45, Evansville, Indiana. Resisting law enforcement, possession of stolen vehicle, operating while intoxicated. Everett Klein, 62, Wheelersburg, Ohio. Possession of stolen vehicle, probation violation, Ohio warrant. What started as an armed robbery in Kentucky turned into a 100-mile-per-hour pursuit through Indiana. For York and Klein, it ended with a pit maneuver, a crash, and felony charges waiting at the jail. On the night of September 15, 2025, in Little Rock, Arkansas, a trooper spotted a white passenger car rocketing onto I-630 westbound from John Barrow Road. Radar clocked it at 80 miles per hour in a 55. The trooper moved in to pull the driver over, and for a moment, it looked like he would stop on I-430. But as soon as the trooper stepped out of his unit, the car took off.
On Little Rock, 1037.
1063 from 49.
Making a left, he just hit the retaining wall, he's still going. Going west on Mountain Boulevard.
West on Boulevard.
The pursuit was on. Speeds blasted past 130 miles per hour. Headlights switched off in the dark, and traffic barely left enough space for the driver to squeeze through. Over the river bridge and onto Momel Boulevard, the car was already falling apart, its bumper ripped away. Red lights ignored. lanes, optional. The trooper lined up for a tactical maneuver but had to hold back as the suspect darted through traffic. Each slowdown offered a chance, but the chase kept dragging deeper into city streets.
Traffic's light.
Traffic light, still blacked out, speed 100.
TVR.
Finally, as the suspect braked into a curve, the trooper seized the moment. A tactical vehicle intervention spun the car off the road, rolling it onto its side against a tree. The trooper sprinted up, only to hear children crying inside. 2 kids, just 4 years and 6 months old, were trapped in the wreck. Their father, Willie Wright Jr., at first refused to hand them over, but after tense commands, he finally released them to EMS. Both children were treated at the scene while Wright was taken into custody. Charges: fleeing, endangering welfare of a minor ×2. DWI reckless driving, driving without lights to avoid detection. Speeding, no seatbelt, no child seat, refusal to submit to chemical test. What started as a routine speeding stop turned into a high-speed nightmare through Little Rock. Wright not only endangered countless drivers, but also his own children, riding unrestrained at 130 miles per hour. With a long list of charges and no bond on the serious ones, this case is guaranteed to stick. May 18, 2025, Pierce County, Washington. A Thurston County deputy spots an SUV blow through a stop sign and nearly into a busy road. No plates, no hesitation. The deputy tries to pull the vehicle over. But the driver? He floors it northbound on I-5.
He just struck a white work van, going to be pulling over, and the subject is still fleeing, approaching 124. And I've got Lakewood with me.
Lakewood with you, approaching 124, subject is still fleeing, and sharply waiting for the man.
Sam 13, can I go for a pit?
I'm here at phone with you.
Okay, Firm, I've got a Lakewood unit. We're taking the gravelly exit.
He sideswipes a work van, kicks up a loose bumper from the shoulder, and barrels toward the crowded streets of South Tacoma. Lakewood PD jumps in to assist. Just before things can get worse, the deputy performs a pit maneuver, sending the SUV off-road.
Westbound, high flow,
Pit, pit, pit.
Radio copy the pit.
Ability stop. Hands up! Put your fucking hands up!
The driver steps out, hands up. But then, he suddenly drops his hands toward his waistband and dives back into the vehicle. That's a tense moment, but thankfully, officers take him into custody at gunpoint. Turns out he's a convicted felon on active community supervision, with a Department of Corrections escape warrant, a suspended license, and no interlock device in the car. Just for fun, he also had drug paraphernalia inside. He was booked for attempting to elude driving while license suspended. Third, hit and run, reckless driving, no ignition interlock, possession of drug paraphernalia, and his felony escape warrant. Oh, and let's not forget several warrants up and down the I-5 corridor. One bad decision led to a freeway mess, a pit, and a tense takedown. But this guy's road trip is officially over, and he's not getting out anytime soon. In the early morning of September 21st, 2025, Sherwood police tried to stop a white 2012 Ford Escape on I-57. The driver hit the gas, weaving across highways at nearly 100 miles per hour before Arkansas State Police joined in. Sergeant Nathan Williams took over near mile marker 12, and as the SUV slowed near mile marker 11, he moved in for a tactical stop. A tactical vehicle intervention sent the Ford Escape spinning in a full circle before coming to rest on the inside shoulder. The driver, later identified as John Webb, immediately jumped out of the still-moving SUV and sprinted across the interstate. Sergeant Williams and a Sherwood officer chased him through lanes of traffic, over the median, and into a grassy ditch. On the service road, Sergeant Williams deployed his taser, dropping Webb and allowing officers to take him into custody. He sustained only a minor fingernail injury during the fall. Charges: fleeing, reckless driving, speeding, 100+ miles per hour, failure to yield to emergency vehicle resisting arrest, foot pursuit, traffic signal violations. What started as a routine stop turned into a highway pursuit, a 360-degree spinout, and a foot chase across traffic. For John Webb, the early morning run ended with a taser on the service road and a ride to the Pulaski County Detention Center. On Friday night, September 19, 2025, in Little Rock, Arkansas, a trooper was parked on the shoulder of Interstate 30 near the 133-mile marker, helping a stranded motorist with a flat tire. Just before midnight, radio traffic came in. Alexander police were chasing a fleeing vehicle eastbound on I-30, closing fast. Within seconds, the pursuit screamed past his location. The trooper jumped back in his unit, flipped on the lights, and joined the chase.
You have a plate on it? It's going to be AZK82Y, AZK82Y. 10-4. Still 30 east. Approaching the 139. This will go for TBI. 47 letter, I'll come secondary, I'll call it. TBI 139. TBI 139. Car's corrected, it's going back on the road. Checking the 139 now.
Speeds shot over 100 miles per hour as the suspect raced toward the south interchange. With light traffic but reckless moves, Trooper Parada joined in as secondary, while the lead trooper set up for a tactical stop near exit 139A.
Coming up on Roosevelt, taking a left. TBI.
Show me your hand! Show me your hand! Show me your hand! Hands! 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 Show me your fucking hands! Crossfire! Crossfire! Show me your hands! Show me your hands now! Show me your hands! Crossfire! I'm gonna unlock the door. Hands! Open. Get out! Put your face on the ground! Do it now! Put your face on the ground!
At the bottom of the ramp, the trooper made his move. A tactical vehicle intervention spun the car sideways, but the driver somehow regained control and pressed on. Moments later, with the suspect weaving under the overpass, the trooper tried again. This time the TVI worked. The car spun out, and Trooper Parada slammed it against a brick wall, pinning it for good. The driver was yanked out and cuffed without further fight. Charges fleeing reckless, driving from a stranded tire stop to a 100-mile-per-hour pursuit. This late-night run through Little Rock ended with a brick wall and handcuffs. With reckless driving and fleeing on the books, this suspect's joyride was cut short the hard way. Just after midnight on September 18, 2025, Tennessee Highway Patrol was chasing a stolen GMC Sierra westbound toward Arkansas. At speeds topping 90 miles per hour, the truck barreled across the state line into Crittenden County, where Arkansas State Police Trooper Darren Evans was waiting at the 281-mile marker on Interstate 40.
Looks like it's probably going to take him, okay? Taking him, okay?
10-4.
Left on him, okay?
Left on Impaired.
Going back east.
Back east.
The Sierra blew past Trooper Evans and immediately exited onto Martin Luther King Boulevard, running stop signs and forcing another car off the road before jumping back onto I-40 eastbound toward Tennessee. Multiple tactical stop attempts failed as the suspect brake-checked the trooper and swerved aggressively. Empty beer cans littered the cab as the driver, later identified as Justice Cisco, showed no concern for anyone else on the road.
That's it.
There's some mounted.
EVI, we're still going.
TVI is still going.
TVI rollover, he went over the wall.
Finally, Trooper Evans lined up the maneuver he'd been waiting for. A hard strike to the Sierra's rear bumper sent it spinning off the interstate, smashing through a guardrail and rolling several times into a nearby tree line. Cisco crawled from the wreck and bolted into the woods, but Tennessee troopers chased him down and took him into custody. He was treated for injuries before being transported to the hospital, and the stolen truck was hauled away. Charges: felony fleeing by vehicle, substantial danger of death, fleeing on foot, DWI, first offense, refusal to submit to chemical test, reckless driving, open container and motor vehicle drinking on highway, theft of property, $25,000, criminal mischief, over $1,000, damage, littering, first offense, speeding, more than 15 miles per hour over limit. From Tennessee into Arkansas, a stolen truck, alcohol, and a wild rollover, justice. Cisco racked up a laundry list of charges before his night ended in handcuffs. For him, the interstate joyride stopped cold in the Arkansas tree line. The night of September 23, 2022 in Arkansas, troopers were running patrol when a Ford Mustang GT came flying down the highway. The clock read 11:45 p.m. The radar lit up, and the trooper knew this was going to be a problem.
Sir, you're going to step out, okay? Shut the car off.
The trooper pulled in behind the Mustang, lights flashing, and just like that, the Mustang actually slowed and pulled over. For about 3 seconds, it looked like this was going to be one of those rare polite traffic stops. But nope, the Mustang tapped the brakes, then mashed the gas like it just heard the drag strip bell ring. And here's the thing, the Mustang wasn't just quick, it was gone. The trooper's cruiser lumbered up the on-ramp like it was hauling groceries, while the Mustang vanished like a magic trick. At one point, the trooper pushed it hard, but every time he gained a little ground, the Mustang just opened the taps again. With speeds well over 140 miles per hour, the pursuit became a game of chase that the State Patrol just wasn't built to win. Before long, the Mustang disappeared into the Arkansas night. Charges: expected, fleeing and eluding at high speed, felony, reckless driving, speeding 140+ miles per hour in a 70 miles per hour zone, failure to yield to emergency vehicle. When people say you can't outrun the radio, they're right, but sometimes you sure can outrun the cruiser. For this Mustang GT driver, one fake pullover and one wild sprint was all it took to leave the Arkansas State Police in the dust. On the night of August 10, 2025, officers spotted a street takeover in progress at South Park Circle. As police moved in, multiple cars scattered from the lot at high speed, among them a gray Acura driven by Michael Sanchez. When an officer activated his lights to block the exit, Sanchez nearly clipped several cars before hopping a median and heading the wrong way down a roadway. The Acura barely avoided head-on collisions as it turned onto John Young Parkway. At that point, Sanchez killed his headlights, blew through red lights, and continued fleeing in the dark. Officers discovered his license plate was expired and carried an altered sticker registered to a completely different car. The chase had escalated far beyond a traffic violation.
Copy tag 88 Charles, 8 IU, 88 Charles, 8 IU. Gray Acura, gray Acura. You come to like for OBT, never pretty much yet, officially yet? For OBT, Air 31 DS, visual yet?
So I got a call on OBT and Sand Lake Road. He's going northbound on OBT. Northbound OBT. Boxes in between two vehicles. Vehicles southbound.
After a dangerous run, Sanchez was stopped and taken into custody without further incident. When asked why he fled, he admitted he was scared and simply followed the other vehicles leaving the takeover lot, even though his decisions nearly caused multiple crashes. Charges: fleeing and eluding, reckless driving, driving wrong way, running red lights, driving without headlights, expired license plate, altered forged registration sticker, misuse of license plate. What began as a street takeover quickly turned into a high-risk pursuit across John Young Parkway. For Michael Sanchez, just following the crowd ended with multiple charges, an altered plate, and a ride to jail. On the afternoon of August 21, 2021 in Haralson County, Georgia, deputies patrolling Morgan Road spotted a Toyota speeding at 55 in a 45. When they tried to pull it over, the driver blew a stop sign at Hilltop Drive and kept going. What started as a simple traffic stop quickly escalated into a full pursuit.
I get an opportunity, I'm gonna piss, wrong side road. Clear. Blowing stop sign. Blowing stop sign, blowing stop signs.
The Toyota sped east on Baxter Road, weaving into oncoming lanes and blasting through intersections without stopping. At one point, the driver, later identified as Teresa Lynn Morgan, flew through the Baxter and Corinth-Poseyville intersection at full speed, ignoring the stop sign completely. Her reckless driving showed no regard for her own safety or anyone else's.
Passing the Circle Road. They might be fixing a bush bomb just so I can stand by. Get ready to get out. They're reaching. Like on bush bomb in a second. Follow.
What's the secondary?
They're reaching for something in the center console. Reaching for something in the center console.
Get your ass out! Get your ass out!
Near Stagecoach Road, Morgan finally slowed, drifting toward the shoulder. Deputies noticed her reaching toward the center console and decided it was the safest time to end it. A pit maneuver spun the Toyota to a stop. Officers approached with weapons drawn, and Morgan surrendered without a fight. Her speech was slurred, she was sweating, and her pupils were constricted, all signs of impairment. She refused chemical testing and was booked into the Haralson County Jail. Charges: felony, fleeing and attempting to elude, driving under the influence, DUI, reckless driving, failure to stop at multiple stop signs, speeding. What began as a minor speeding violation turned into a dangerous pursuit across rural roads. For Teresa Morgan, it ended with a pit maneuver, a DUI charge, and a felony fleeing warrant waiting the very next day. On the night of March 3, 2022, in Gwinnett County, Georgia, Trooper D. Thomas clocked a silver Porsche Cayman ripping up E85 northbound. Not only was it speeding, it was weaving through lanes like it thought turn signals were optional. The trooper moved in for a traffic stop, but when the lights came on, the Porsche kept the pedal down.
Looks like he's jumping off. Stand by. Traffic's getting real thick.
We're possibly jumping off.
He's still going northbound. I can still see him. The traffic is real bad. I'm in the HOV, number 1 lane.
Speeds jumped to nearly 120 miles per hour, the Cayman darting through traffic with zero respect for anyone else on the road. The driver swerved onto the right shoulder at mile marker 99, still running. But the thing about driving on the shoulder at 119, sooner or later there's going to be a truck in the way.
We're jumping towards exit 99.
Yeah, he's probably taking this exit. Stand by. Looks like a 1050, real bad 1050. 1050. Go ahead and start at 52. It's 51 as well.
1050. They're going to be right before Jimmy Carter.
The Porsche slammed straight into a tow truck that was loading a disabled pickup, wedging itself underneath. The force of the crash even threw the pickup's driver, Hugo Martinez, over the median wall and onto Dawson Boulevard. Meanwhile, troopers found the Porsche driver, Victor Smith, dazed, slurring his words, and looking like he had no idea what planet he was on. His eyes were watery, his speech was slow, and when asked for a state blood test, he flat out refused. Troopers also found $3,200 in cash stuffed in his pockets, which, let's be honest, is the classic DUI starter pack. He was cleared by EMS, taken to the hospital, then promptly booked into Gwinnett County Jail. Charges: felony, fleeing, and attempting to elude DUI, refusal, reckless driving, speeding 119 miles per hour in a 70 miles per hour zone, improper lane changes, failure to maintain lane causing serious injury by vehicle, a Porsche Cayman, a tow truck, and one very confused driver. Not exactly the sports car commercial Porsche had in mind. For Victor Smith, the night ended with wrecked metal, felony charges, and a stack of cash that couldn't buy him out of the Gwinnett County Jail. On the afternoon of October 14, 2021, Atlanta police issued a lookout for a murder suspect driving the victim's stolen car, a black 2019 Nissan Altima with Georgia plates. Troopers patrolling near Metropolitan Parkway spotted the Nissan, confirmed the tag, and moved in for a stop. But when lights and sirens went on, the driver, identified later as Nigel Andrews, hit the gas. Andrews blasted through red lights, sped into oncoming lanes, and nearly collided with other cars. With limited units in the area and stop sticks deemed too dangerous, troopers weighed their options carefully. This wasn't just a traffic stop. This was an armed murder suspect, with no regard for anyone on the road. As the chase grew more dangerous, troopers made the call, "End it now." A precision immobilization technique spun the Altima into a curb, bringing it to a halt. Andrews bailed out, sprinting across Metropolitan Parkway into live traffic. Troopers chased him on foot, shouting commands he refused to follow, until one deployed a taser, dropping him on the spot. He was cuffed, checked by EMS, and turned over to Atlanta police homicide detectives. He was charged with murder fleeing and attempting to elude reckless driving. Failure to obey traffic signals, wrong way, driving, resisting arrest. What began as a murder investigation ended in a high-speed pursuit through Atlanta streets. With a pit, a foot chase, and a taser deployment, troopers brought down Nigel Andrews before anyone else was hurt and handed him straight over to homicide detectives. On the evening of September 17, 2025, in Prairie County, Arkansas, a trooper monitoring I-40 spotted a black Hyundai Palisade tailgating traffic. When he tried to pull it over, the SUV took off, weaving recklessly down the highway. The chase didn't last long. Near the 197-mile marker, the trooper pulled a pit maneuver, sending the Palisade spinning off the road and into a tree. The SUV crumpled, and two suspects bailed out on foot toward the tree line, while the front passenger stayed behind.
97 eastbound speeds 82, 83. Up to 37 speeds now. TBI wrecked out.
When officers cleared the car, they found more than just reckless driving. Inside were 58 pounds of marijuana in trash bags, a Glock 19 with a round in the chamber, thousands in cash, and bundles of fake $100 bills. The passenger, Kyle Easley, was arrested right there. The driver, Brevin Harvey, and the rear passenger, Maurice Sykes, escaped into the woods, but they left IDs and evidence behind. Charges: Kyle Easley, passenger, possession with intent to deliver marijuana, 25 to 100 pounds. Brevin Harvey, driver, felony fleeing, vehicle plus on foot, possession with intent to deliver marijuana, 25 to 100 pounds. Simultaneous possession of drugs and firearms. Maurice Sykes, rear passenger, fleeing on foot, possession with intent to deliver marijuana, 25 to 100 pounds. Simultaneous possession of drugs and firearms. What began as a routine traffic stop turned into a major bust. Drugs, guns, cash, and suspects running through the trees. Easley went to jail. Harvey and Sykes got away, for now. But with IDs, fingerprints, and 58 pounds of evidence in the back seat, it's only a matter of time. Thanks for riding the adrenaline wave with us here at Mind Rush. If you're hungry for more heart-pounding action and edge-of-your-seat excitement, don't go anywhere, because we're just getting started. Hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more mind-blowing moments coming your way soon.